Hello, hello. It is a Monday. It is Owen Gill. It is High Tim Sports. And we have a Final Four preview and a recap of the madness from the weekend. Check me out. Hey guys, welcome back. Owen Gill, High Tim Sports. And just want to congratulate the four teams that made it to the Final Four. Duke, Virginia, Gonzaga, and Kentucky.
What you talking about, Willie?
Never mind. Actually, I just want to congratulate Virginia on making it to the Final Four, as they were the only one out of my Final Four picks that actually made it to the Final Four. And just to talk a little bit about the reaction and everything that happened with the games over the weekend. This is my bracket right here, and as you can see, Duke, Virginia, Kentucky, Gonzaga, and they did not live up to the hype. So let's just go ahead and rip this up like most people did in their tournament brackets, and let's just forget about that.
It's not your fault.
And let's talk a little bit about the numbers. All right, so if you look at the brackets overall and how many people picked every team to not just go to the Final Four, but to also get to the national championship and win it. So Duke was an overwhelming favorite at 39.2% out of all the brackets picked to win the NCAA men's basketball championship.
Tillman up ahead, Winston, no one near him. And he's going to come out with it, and Michigan State is headed to Minneapolis.
Coming in at second place was North Carolina at 15.7%. Third place, who also did not make it, Gonzaga at 11.6%.
Off the foot of Owens, picked up by Perkins, puts it up. That's it. There's a new member of the Final Four Club, and they hail from Lubbock, Texas.
And then fourth place, Kentucky, 4.9%.
7 seconds, swings it, Washington fires, no, rebounded by Harper, and it's over. Anything can happen in March.
And none of them made it to the Final Four. So let's talk about Virginia, who actually was a little bit better as far as percentages. 5.9% of the brackets picked had them winning the national championship.
Jerome, short, back tap, Diakite, a race for it, into the hands of Clark, got a chance to win it here, up the front, here's Diakite for the win,
and out of the other Final Four teams, Michigan State, 4.7%, Texas Tech, 0.7%, and War Eagle, the Auburn Tigers, 0.5%, picked them to win the national championship. So we got 4 teams left, guys. Virginia, Michigan State, Texas Tech, and Auburn. And you got 4 very different styles of basketball that are going to be there playing next weekend for a shot to get to the championship game on Monday night. And here's my thoughts. You got a couple of matchups. You got Virginia versus Auburn, and you got Michigan State versus Texas Tech. I think that let's get to the first game. Let's talk a little bit about the Michigan State-Texas Tech game. Here's my thoughts. I think Texas Tech is the most frustrating team left in this tournament, and overall, they're probably the most frustrating team that's been in the tournament this year to play. They've held 3 of the highest scoring offenses in basketball to the lowest points they scored all year. Their defense is tenacious. They have Jarrett Culver, who's a top 5 lottery pick in the draft. And I think that they're going to be a tough out. They always talk about defense wins championships, and Texas Tech is going to that to the extreme. They're the Baltimore Ravens of 2000 for basketball.
That's illegal. That is absolutely illegal. He falls and puts his leg.
They aren't pretty on offense, but their defense is so overwhelmingly better than everybody else that they're going to be there at the end. I like Texas Tech to beat Michigan State. As much as they're probably the least of the teams that everybody wants to see in it, they're probably the toughest team left that anybody wants to play. As far as the other game, you got Virginia and Auburn. Virginia is the only team, as far as the 1 seeds, that makes it to the Final Four, and they need a little help with a last second desperation play to tie it and get into overtime against a really dangerous Purdue team. And hats off to Carson Edwards, another 40-point game. And it was an incredible finish, but Virginia survives, and they're playing against the darling of the tournament, Auburn. Auburn plays Kentucky, lose their best player to a devastating knee injury in the game against North Carolina.
That's terrible.
Everybody had picked Kentucky to win, including myself. I just didn't think Auburn had the size to be able to compete with Kentucky. Auburn pulls it out, and they're in it. They're the fastest, most up-tempo team left in this tournament against the most experienced, decorated team in Virginia. Now, Virginia's gotten over the hump. They had lost to a 16 seed last year. They're in the Final Four. They've got to be the favorite, and I like Virginia in a close one against Auburn. So we got a Virginia-Texas Tech championship game. Now you've got two very good defensive teams and one team that's a little bit better on offense than Virginia. I'm going with Virginia to win the whole thing. I got it in a low-scoring game. I'm going to say Virginia 58, Texas Tech 53. Virginia cuts the nets down. Virginia wins the championship. Hats off to those guys. Tony Bennett's an incredible coach. Happy to see him have the opportunity to get to this point. I like him. And that's it, guys. The madness is almost over. We're down to 4. And 3 of the 4 were very big surprises as far as getting there. Make sure you follow me on YouTube. Subscribe, High Temp Sports, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm all over the place. Check me out. I'm out, guys. Have a good night.